Hey guys, what's up? Rulk back here for smashing some more stuff. Talking to you guys again here about mastery setup. This is part 3 in my series. I've already discussed offense and defense masteries. As you can see here, I've got 31 points in offense, 12 in defense, and 16 in utility. Today we're going to talk about utility. So what is this all about? I finally reached the max level cap at level 60, so I have all the mastery points from leveling up. And a couple weeks ago, I finally finished Act 4 up at 100% to get the last 4 mastery points available there. So I have all the mastery points currently available in the game. This is version 14.1, I believe. Only a week away or so from version 15.0 coming out. Just so you know where we're at in the times in time right now. So let's take a look. Utility is a very important one to me. Obviously, offense is the most important one to me, but utility has some very key things, especially that pair along with my lack of stuff in defense. I feel that utility allows me to aggressively bypass stuff that's annoying rather than just try to defend it and mitigate it or patch it like the defensive masteries do. So I prefer utility over defense, and we'll get into why. But the important thing you need to know, starting out here, limber. I argue with a lot of people on this because a lot of people I see have 5 points in limber, which reduces the duration of stuns by 48% at 5 points. That's so 5 points is a lot of points to put into cutting stun time down in half. I mean, when do you get stunned? Basically, if you screw up and you get hit. So don't screw up and don't get hit. Learn to play the game with skill and avoid getting hit. I know there's some you know effects that you can't avoid, maybe, or whatever, some node boosts that you can't necessarily avoid, but I mean, I think that's a pretty lame excuse. I mean, the only thing that I find limber may be useful for if you have it maxed out is like Alliance War defense. If I go up against a defender that's on the map and I don't know that they have limber maxed out and I try to stun them, I might not connect my combo before they've recovered. That's about it, but I have my own way around that anyways. So I only put 1 point in there. I just don't feel it's worth it. It's totally, for me, it's a stepping stone mastery. I'm on to the more important things after that. The next one, this is one of the first ones you want to get. If you're a starting player and you're watching this and you're wondering what ones in utility should I try to get first, or what masteries should I get across the board, which one should I get first? This is one of them, okay? Dexterity is so critical that you have to have dexterity. It gives you an essential function of the game that you don't have without it. So what this does is when you evade back, when you do the dodging back, the swipe away to the left, it will dodge an attack. What does it say? Evade all attacks while dodging back. Dodging an attack in this way grants 250 critical rating for your next attack. The boost to critical rating is not what you're after, so don't let that even disillusion you, okay? Don't even look at it. Don't put any more than 1 point in here. I mean, is 950 a nice boost to your critical rating? Yeah, it is. You don't really need it. It's just for the one hit on your next attack. As soon as you land contact on that first hit, that boost is gone. Not worth it, okay? 1 point is plenty enough, but what does this do? So when you swipe to the left and you're dodging away, anything that comes your way during that swipe back will be evaded. It won't hit you. So for instance, think of Iron Man when he shoots his repulsor ray from his hands and it goes all the way across the screen in a straight line. There's nowhere to go. You can't get far enough away that it doesn't hit you. It's going all the way across the screen. This will allow you to evade it. If you swipe back at just the right time, just before it, kind of like the timing for parry, which we'll cover next. If you do that, it'll evade it. You will take no damage, and you can immediately dash back in, and you can start wailing on them. This is so key at high levels where you have unblockable specials and stuff. Literally, like, the only way to get around this stuff is this mastery. So get this mastery. It's so important. For you end game players and stuff, I don't need to tell you about that, just move on. Parry, I'm going to go on my rant about parry as well. Parry is so important, and I still see people, even at high level stuff, that don't have points in parry. Like, they have maybe 1 point, or they have, I've seen people with no points, and they're like, what is parry? Why do I have that? You know, like, what's the point of having parry? I'm like, are you kidding me? This is one of those essential things. If you're a beginner player, this is number 1 or 2. It's a toss-up between dexterity and parry. I would almost say parry is even more essential to get at least 1 point in this. I like to max out parry because what it does is when you time a block correctly, like you wait till like almost the last second to block, right as they make contact, you hit your block, you will actually stun the character, and for a short duration, which gives you an opportunity to start a full combo of like 5 hits. And if you play right, and I mean, if they are an aggressive character and they counterattack immediately after that, and you time your stun again, there's another 5-hit combo. Do it again, another 5-hit combo. You can essentially just chain your way all through this. So this is really nice to have. So timing a block right when attacked reduces damage by 25%. So it's also reducing damage, which is nice. So you're not taking quite as much off of any blocked hits. If contact is made, stuns attackers. Yeah, if contact is made. So this does not work if it's a ranged or projectile attacked, and it does not work on special attacks, even if they are a melee attack where it makes contact. You stun attackers for up to 2 seconds. Stun duration increases with perfect block chance. Interesting. I actually haven't looked at that before. That may be reason to actually keep perfect block mastery over in defense. May have to look into that at some point. But still, 2 seconds is plenty enough. And then whatever boost I get on top of that for whatever perfect block I have per character. It's nice. Like I said, it gives you the window to get in and get a combo off and get some hits. And then, you know, maybe reset or, you know, counter them again. And just kind of keep the fight going. It works really good if you're playing a very aggressive playstyle like I do, where you're in their face constantly, you're up close and you're hitting them, and then you're hitting that parry, and then you're just in their face again, and you just never let the pressure off unless they get to a special and you have to start baiting the special and evading it. Then that's about the only time I back off. Otherwise, I am in their face, beating the crap out of them. So this helps a lot with that. Going off from this, the next one in the line is Stupefy. This is one that I like to keep maxed out because it's 3 points, which is a lot. For a little gain here, it seems like so minuscule. Like, why would I bother with 3 points in there? It gives you 0.5 additional seconds on your stun, any stun. So even if that's a special and it inflicts a stun, it's just going to affect it. Or normal attack if you like at Gwenpool or whatever. But for every character, your parry stun will be duration will be extended by half a second. So the current duration is up to 2 seconds on parry, and then you add a half a second there. That's 25% increase. 25? Yeah, 25% increase. That's significant, okay? So why is that significant? Because you have characters like Groot and Rogue who shrug off debuff effects faster. I know Rogue shrugs them off 70% faster, so whatever the duration is, it only lasts 30% its full time. So when you do just a normal parry, a lot of times it's the stun is gone before you can, you know, get in there and start your combo. So having this gives you just enough time with Rogue and with Groot that you can parry them like normal and just get in there and start your combo. And I don't even notice it, honestly, at this point anymore. Unless they have Limber stacked on top of it, I don't notice it. And this is a good counter for any time you run into somebody who's heavily stacked on Limber. This is a good counter to that. So it's also going to extend that, which means that their reduction is going to be less effective, and it is still going to last longer. You know, even if they have Limber max, you're still going to gain 0.25 seconds out of it, which, you know, if you really look at the pace of the game and how fast it moves, that's a lot of time. Okay, So I really like Stupefy. I think it's very much worthwhile. The next one, I've played with this one a lot. I've had 3 points in it before. Petrify, so when your champions inflict stun, they also reduce enemy health and power gains by up to 10% for the duration of the stun. This is nice against, champions that run wild with power. So, like, at 3 points, you're going to have a 30% reduction in regen and power gains by your opponents as long as they're stunned. Only when they're stunned. And usually if you've got somebody like Hyperion who's running wild with his power gains, you're not going to be able to keep him in a constant stunned state. And if you do, he's still generating power, he's just generating less of it. So it's nice to kind of slow him down a little bit, put something in their track, put a roadblock there. But ultimately, I don't feel like it's worth doing much more than 1 point in there. 10% is enough. But really, I'm trying to get to this one out here. Pacify. So if you've watched my video about how to fight magic, you know that pacify is very important. And when we talked about in the offensive thing with assassins, that having the defensive ability trigger reduction up to like 20% when it's maxed out, this is adding on top of that. So when your champion inflicts stun, they also reduce enemy ability triggers by 30% for the duration of the stun. Now, this says ability triggers. This doesn't just say defensive ability triggers. So that means that if somebody... Let's say you're fighting Ultron, okay? Ultron's annoying because he has that stupid evade that happens very infrequently, but when it happens, it catches you off guard because you kind of lulled in that false sense of security, same as Black Widow. When they're stunned, that's not going to happen. Well, I guess that's a bad example because evades don't happen while they're stunned anyways, but let's take Ultron for the example again. So when he gets to 50% health, he's going to trigger a regen. And when he gets to 25% health, he's going to trigger regen. You know how I fight Ultron? So long as I can stun him, I stun him. And then I'll get my 5-hit combo, and I'll dance around, I'll get my 5-hit combo. As soon as he gets anywhere near 50%, that first trigger that's going to generate the regen, and I know it's coming, I stun him, I do 3 hits, and I get out. And I stun him again, and I do 3 hits until he's past that 50% mark, and I usually don't see the regens from him. And I can do the same thing with the 25%. Magic's Limbo is also affected by this. Like I said, go check out that video that I did on Magic, because even if you don't have a champion that does defensive ability reduction, as long as you can stun her, you can utilize this to your benefit, and you can just keep her stunned when you push her past that, those thresholds of the bars of power, and reduce that ability accuracy for the Limbo to trigger. So I find there's so many uses for Pacify. I really do. I really like it. It's a great utility. I find so many uses for it. And like I said, this is not just defensive. This is also offensive. This is just ability triggers in general. So, if somebody has bleeds, if there's a chance to inflict a bleed, or there's a chance to inflict incinerate or whatever, this is going to reduce that as well. By the way I read it, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's how I read it. It's just enemy ability triggers. So I find that's very much worth it. And then the last one here, which I did, these were kind of like my last 4 points. This is where I invested them at the end, was in Mystic Dispersion. Now, if you're not familiar, Mystic Dispersion only affects Mystic Champions, okay? So not the other classes. This is only Mystic Champions. They accrue 8% power each time an enemy beneficial effect expires. So if they have a regen and then it expires, you gain 8% of your power bar. If they have armor up and it expires, you gain 8% of your power bar. And this is per buff. So if you're fighting Groot, okay, and with Dr. Voodoo, and you fire, and he has like those crazy huge stacks of buffs that he gets, and you fire off a level 1 special, which removes buffs and converts them into the Spirit Venom. For each one of those buffs that you remove, and so I've had it as high as like 23 buffs removed. That's 23 times 8%. That's your whole bar, like power. It's filled. You're there. You're at special 3. By firing off special 1, you're at special 3. So anytime that it either expires, or you nullify it, or you remove it, or you armor break them, so it also removes an armor up effect that they have. Anytime that it's removed or expires a buff effect on the opponent, you gain 8% power on your Mystic Champion. So for Magic, this is amazing, because it's going to push her through those bars of power. So if you're trying to use her for offense and you're trying to power control, it's going to get you to that special 2 a lot faster, so you can power lock them down, which is nice. So it's not going to take as long to get there. With Dr. Voodoo, like I said, I mean, so many uses for Dr. Voodoo. So many, because he actively removes buffs with one of his specials. So, and even the Loas that he puts on, those count as buffs. They are technically a buff token that doesn't grant any benefit to the opponent, but when he removes them, they're counting as removing or expiring buffs, and you're going to gain a lot of power. So you can fire off a level 1 special with him, remove 4 Loas, and be just about ready for the next one. So I think this is a great one. I have not come up with enough to get all the way to rank 5 out of 5 for that, which gets you to 12%. It's quite a significant jump up there, but those cores just cost so damn much. I did all of mine. I got them with the loyalty that I had saved up. I was really saving for that 5-star Unstoppable Colossus, but I decided Mystic Dispersion was far more important for me. And this is big for Alliance War defense maps. You'll see it all over the place. They're littered with Mystic characters and people who have Mystic Dispersion, because it just makes them that much more dangerous. They're going to gain power. Just, it's going to seem like they're randomly gaining power, but, it's whenever your buffs are expiring, they're going to gain this power. So it makes it very difficult to fight people that have this. So it works good for defense. I find it works very good for offense. It just can tend to run away a little bit on you on the offense. Sometimes it'll push you like too far if you want to be in, constantly doing a special 1 with whatever, with Dr. Voodoo. But you do this, and every time you're removing these massive amount of buffs, and it just immediately pushes you right to special 2 or right to special 3. Well, if you didn't want to do that, that kind of sucks. But I find its uses are greater than its disadvantages, but also why I only put 4 there as well, just to make it a little more manageable. So that's it. This is my screen for that, if you want to take a snapshot. I don't do anything along with these scouter lens type things. I don't feel like it's super necessary, and honestly, I think these aren't going to make any sense whatsoever when the new Alliance War maps come out. So these are revealing hidden classes of certain types of classes, and this one, the Scouter Lenses, reveal the hidden hero rating and star rating of enemies up to 1 step away. I mean, that would still be valid, but like these ones reveal the hidden class of a mystic enemies up to 1 step away on quest map. This information is shared with allies. Like, I mean, maybe on Alliance quest maps, but they don't change. So, like, once you know what they are, you just go look up a map that somebody else has done. Why do you need this? And then now, as they're changing the Alliance War maps, so that at all difficulties levels, you're going to at least be able to see the class of the character no matter what. These are completely pointless. Like, there's no reason to have these ones, these outer ones out here, okay? Maybe the Scouter Lens, because that's giving you information that you cannot get otherwise. The star rating and then their power rating. So you know how strong of a champion you're up against. But I've never messed with them. And like you can see here, I have every point that I'm available to get in the game, and they're all used somewhere, so there's really nowhere to shift things around unless I take from something else. And I really like this setup. I feel like it works good for all around. It works good for my play style of, stay aggressive, stay in their face, and stuff like that. So, yeah, so this is the final video in this little series of, all 3 of them. So I'll just do a real quick, if you want to see, there's offense, defense, and utility finally. So if you want to pause that at those spots and get the snapshots of all those, but watch the videos. Really greatly appreciate you guys' support watching these. Hope you guys like this whole series. Leave me some comments in below, some feedback on what you thought of this, kind of breaking this up into a series. I hope you guys like it. If you did like it, leave a like below. Really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate all you guys who do subscribe to my channel and to help support me. It's so appreciated. You guys helping me, you know, do this to make it happen. So share it, please share it with your alliance members, share it with friends and all that stuff. You know, get the word around, and hopefully people like my stuff and want to come back for more because I like making it. Yeah. All right, guys. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. We'll catch you guys next time for smashing some more stuff. Okay. See ya. Take care.